Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to the instructional guide for how to use Shelby. This is just going to be an unscripted overview of the things that this voice bank can do. So if you're familiar with Instrument2Taos or my other Tao Bali Joel, you kind of already know how this works. So each of Shelby's sounds are aliased with either a katakana symbol or a kanji. The main ones that I use are the voiced kus, which are just katakana ku 1 and 2. She has 7 roars, well 8 if you include the long roar, but it sounds a bit different. She has a howl, hiss, bite, and rumble. I'm not going to go over every single roar because there's so many, but I will show her various voices. These can also be used separately in a DAW, like how you would use a separate breath. So just really quick, I'll take a chunk of these and then hit Control-E. And I'm typing with the Japanese IME keyboard. Put the ku in, and then just gonna fit the UST to that. And the ku sound like this. So as you can see, that's voiced. I use FreeSamp, and the flags that are most important are F1 and L1, but more sampler you could also probably use to a good result. I didn't notice the FRQs got all jumbled with FreeSamp, so these would be okay to use with FreeSamp, but for something like the roars, since they're unvoiced, I would just leave those with TNFNDS, and to disable pitching, do -1, but I'll just pull up TNFNDS, and then I'll change these just to roar 1. So obviously that's kind of a joke sound, but if you do want to use the roars, the more eldritch noises, then definitely use TNFNDS and the W-1 flag. But I normally just end up using the kus because they carry a melody. So the other thing is that since most of the time you're only going to be using ku or, I don't know, any other sound, changing lyrics in classic Tao is kind of a pain, because you can't exclude the rest. So you could just select everything before the rest and change them that way with Control-E, but for me, I found a better method by using OpenTao, which I'm going to switch to that really quick. So with OpenTao open, we have our regular UST open with the regular Japanese phonemes. What we're going to do is Control-A, select all, and then right-click, edit lyrics. Actually, what I'll do first just hit the batch edit Japanese VCV to CV, and then edit lyrics, and then copy all these, and then in Notepad++, paste all these in, and then hit Control-H to replace, and then I'm going to put in a regular expression and find what. And don't worry about trying to memorize it or anything. I will include this in the how to use guide. So this regular expression basically seeks out basically all numerals, all letters, all kanji, katakana, hiragana, etc. And when we find next, see that it highlights all the characters but not the spaces, which is what we want. So then replace all, and then copy this, and then paste it here. And it might not work the first time, but it looks like it did this time. It's not been working for me the first time, and I have to do it a second time, but it looks like all the lyrics went through. So all the lyrics are ku now, and you didn't have to worry about the rest. What you can do, if you prefer working in Tao Classic like me, you can export project and then export UST files to, and then whatever folder you were working in originally. So I'm just going to pop back to Utao Classic. Okay, so we have our converted UST now, and it would sound something like this. So that's pretty much all for Shelby. I would say she's a bit of an intermediate Utao to use, but once you know the shortcuts and everything, she's actually very easy to use. Not a lot of samples to worry about, not as much setup as some other Utaos might be. But yes, thank you for watching this little tutorial. Shelby will also have a how to use guide that's just this video in text format in her bank file, so if you ever need to reference that, it's going to be there. So thank you very much.